Welcome back to Wall Again, and in this episode I'm going to be giving you my first impressions of the new Linkin Park album. So the album is called From Xero and it dropped today, the 15th of November 2024. It's the 8th studio album by the band and it was released through Warner Records and The Machine Shop. It's the first album put out by the band since 2017's One More Light, and it's the first album to feature new vocalist Emily Armstrong of Dead Sara and new drummer Colin Brittain. So the lineup of the band on this one is Mike Shinoda, Brad Delson, Dave Farrell, Joe Hahn, Emily Armstrong and Colin Brittain. And the album was produced by Mike Shinoda. So there has already been 4 singles from this album which dropped in the last few months. We had The Emptiness Machine on the 5th of September, followed by Heavy as the Crown on the 24th of September. Over Each Other was released on the 24th of October, and then the song Two-Faced was released this week on the 13th of November. This album From Xero is actually only just over 31 minutes long, so it's a very short album, very easy to listen to a number of times this morning so that I can give you my opinion on my first impressions of the album. So let's dig straight in here. There's 11 tracks and 4 of them had been released previously, so no major surprises. I'm always interested when bands release tracks early before an album is released, because sometimes the best stuff is actually released as singles and then what's on the album can be filler. In this case, The Emptiness Machine I thought was a decent single, but some of the other singles released didn't really do it for me. All in all, I think this album is quite boring, to be honest. As a guitar player, there's not a whole lot here to get me excited. The elephant in the room is how do you replace such an amazing vocalist as Chester Bennington? And to be honest, I think Emily Armstrong falls way short. She's not a bad singer, but when it gets to the screaming vocals that Chester Bennington was fantastic at, she really falls short. It's not pleasing to my ears anyway, and I don't think it enhances Linkin Park's sound. There's an awful lot of sampling on this, as you expect from Linkin Park, but they seem to have lost a lot of the original guitar-based heavy metal that Brad Delson brought to the earlier albums. Even though Brad appears on the album, he's actually not going to be a touring member of Linkin Park, and he has confirmed that when the band reunited. So it kind of feels like he's not putting his full heart into this album, and you can definitely hear it. But in my opinion, music is just not there. The grooves aren't good enough, the melodies aren't good enough, the performances from Emily Armstrong aren't good enough, and I think this album is way off the mark. I was happy when Linkin Park reunited, but I was hoping that they'd bring a male vocalist in to replace Chester Bennington, and I was hoping they would keep as many of the original members as possible, especially Brad Delson, who's a fantastic rhythm guitar player for nu metal. But unfortunately, as I said, Brad is only part-time, dipping his feet in, and we get Emily Armstrong as the lead vocalist of Linkin Park. I just think it doesn't work, and I think this album is a flop. But I'd be interested to hear what you think of this album. So let me know in the comments below what your opinion of the new Linkin Park album is, From Xero. And if you could also like, subscribe and share, it really helps out my channel and I greatly appreciate it. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye now.